Welcome to Stay Secure 360, where we break down real-world security, safety, and frontline professionalism. Modern security is no longer just about doors, cameras, and patrols. Today, one fake email or one malicious QR code can cause just as much damage as a physical breach. A lot of frontline staff still think cybersecurity is the IT department's problem, but that way of thinking is outdated. In the real world, security teams are often exposed to suspicious emails, fake messages, dodgy visitors, delivery scams, impersonation attempts, and social engineering. If you work in security, concierge, reception, control room operations, facilities, or any other frontline role, you are often much closer to these risks than people realize. In this video, I want to break down why security guards and frontline security professionals need cyber awareness too, what these threats actually look like, and what you should do when something feels off. For a long time, people treated physical security and cybersecurity as two separate worlds. Physical security was doors, patrols, CCTV, alarms, visitors, keys, and access control. Cybersecurity was computers, networks, passwords, data breaches, and IT systems. But today, those two worlds overlap constantly. Think about how modern workplaces actually operate. Visitors are logged digitally. Access control systems are software-based. Contractors send emails and digital work orders. Staff scan QR codes. Deliveries are confirmed electronically. CCTV systems are network connected, and control rooms rely on digital platforms. Even routine communication now happens through email, apps, shared links, and cloud systems. So if someone tricks staff into clicking a malicious link, scanning a fake QR code, trusting a fake contractor message, or responding to a fraudulent request, that can create operational consequences just as serious as a physical security failure. That is why cyber awareness is no longer separate from security. It is part of modern security. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming cyber risks only affect office staff sitting behind desks. But frontline teams often sit right at the intersection of people, systems, access, and urgency. Security officers regularly deal with visitors, contractors, delivery drivers, access issues, incident notifications, building messages, tenant concerns, maintenance requests, emergency communication, and unexpected problems that require quick decisions. That makes frontline staff attractive targets. Attackers rely on pressure, confusion, urgency, and routine, and security staff deal with all of those things every day. If a fake message comes through saying a contractor needs urgent access, that can look believable. If an email says a delivery has changed and needs immediate confirmation, that may seem completely routine. If a QR code is placed where people normally scan something, many people will trust it automatically. If someone walks in acting confident and claiming to be expected, that may be enough to lower people's guard. Cyber threats often succeed not because the technology is brilliant, but because the situation feels normal enough to bypass suspicion. That is why awareness matters. A lot of frontline security roles already involve cyber-adjacent decision-making, even if people do not describe it that way. A person arrives on site claiming to be a contractor and says their paperwork was emailed through earlier. A tenant says they received an urgent email asking for a secure area to be opened for an equipment replacement. A printed QR code appears near reception, telling staff to scan it for updated visitor procedures. A message comes through saying payment details for a service provider have changed, and the new invoice needs immediate processing. Someone calls pretending to be from internal support and asks for login details, access verification, or help resetting something urgently. These are not purely cyber issues, and they are not purely physical issues either. They are blended risks. They involve people, trust, access, communication, systems, and judgment. That is why security professionals need to understand both sides, because a person can breach a site without ever forcing a door. Sometimes they just need someone to trust the wrong email, the wrong message, the wrong QR code, or the wrong story. So what do these threats actually look like in day-to-day work? One of the most common examples is phishing emails. These are messages designed to get someone to click a link, open an attachment, or hand over information. They often look routine rather than dramatic. It might be a fake invoice, a fake delivery update, an account warning, a request to verify login details, or a message that appears to come from management, a contractor, or a service provider. The danger is that people are busy, and the message looks normal enough to act on without thinking. Another common example is fake contractor requests, which are especially relevant in security and facilities environments. Someone may claim to be attending site for maintenance, repairs, inspections, equipment replacement, or urgent works. They may reference a real company name, sound confident, and say everything was already approved by email. The goal is to create enough credibility and urgency that normal checks are skipped. Suspicious QR codes are another growing risk. QR codes feel convenient and modern, which is exactly why people tend to trust them too easily. But a QR code can take someone anywhere. It might lead to a fake login page, a malicious website, a scam payment portal, a data harvesting page, or even a malware download. If staff are used to scanning QR codes for sign-ins, documents, inductions, menus, or instructions, that trust can easily be exploited. Then there are impersonation attempts, where the attack is not technical at all. Someone may pretend to be a contractor, internal support, management, a known vendor, a tenant representative, a courier, or a staff member from another department. The whole attack is built around trust and confidence. And one of the biggest warning signs across all of these situations is fake urgency. Attackers want people to feel rushed. They use pressure to stop careful thinking. You might see wording like, "This needs to be done immediately," "Urgent action required," "Access needed now," "Your account will be suspended," "Payment details have changed," "Respond within the hour," "Management has approved this already," or "Do not delay." Urgency is often the tool used to bypass normal process. Security staff are often specifically vulnerable to these tactics, not because they are careless, but because their role naturally involves fast decisions in high-trust, high-pressure environments. Security staff are expected to respond quickly, solve problems, assist people, manage access, communicate across departments, handle exceptions, and deal with the unexpected. Attackers understand that. They know frontline staff may feel pressure to be helpful. They know people do not want to hold up a contractor, delay an urgent delivery, or ignore what looks like an important message. They also know that security staff often operate across the gaps between tenants, management, contractors, and service providers. That means a fake request can hide inside real-world complexity. It might sound like the booking should already be in the system. Management said this was approved. The regular contact is away today. We've changed the process. Or, this is urgent and cannot wait. Those are exactly the kinds of situations where good judgment matters. The goal is not paranoia. It is professional awareness. So what should security staff actually look for? One of the biggest red flags is unusual requests. Any request that feels outside normal process should trigger caution. That could mean someone asking for access without proper approval, requesting sensitive information, pushing for exceptions, asking you to skip verification, or wanting something done in a way that does not match normal procedure. If it feels irregular, treat it as irregular until it is properly verified. Bad links are another major warning sign. Sometimes the text in the email looks normal, but the actual link goes somewhere else. Sometimes the domain is slightly misspelled. Sometimes it looks close enough to a trusted business or platform to fool someone quickly. Never trust a link just because the message looks polished. Changed payment details are also a classic fraud tactic. An email claims that banking details have changed, an invoice needs to be paid differently, or a supplier has updated account information. Even if the branding looks genuine, that should always be verified independently, not through the same email thread and not by replying directly to the message, but through a trusted contact method already on file. Urgent messages should also be treated carefully. Urgency by itself does not prove something is a scam, but urgency combined with irregularity should always raise suspicion, especially when the message tries to bypass process. That could be an urgent request for access, an urgent invoice change, an urgent system reset, an urgent document review, an urgent QR scan, or an urgent approval request. Pressure is often the point. Another major warning sign is an unknown sender pretending to be someone trusted. The message may appear to come from management, a service provider, a known contractor, building operations, IT support, or head office. But when you look more closely, something is off. The email address is different, the tone feels unusual, the format is inconsistent, the request is out of character, or the message creates pressure instead of clarity. That is the moment to pause, and this is where the response matters. Cyber awareness is not just about spotting red flags, it is also about knowing what to do next. If something feels off, do not ignore that instinct. Stop first. Do not rush. Do not click the link. Do not open the attachment. Do not scan the QR code. Do not approve access. Do not hand over information. And do not assume something is legitimate just because it looks professional. Pause before you act. Then verify through a trusted, separate channel. If an email claims to be from a contractor, call the contractor using the known contact details already on file. If a message claims management approved something, confirm it directly through your normal chain. If someone is on site claiming urgent access, verify the booking, work order, or authorization properly. If a QR code appears unexpectedly, do not scan it just because it is there. Verification matters more than speed. You should also follow process. Good procedures exist for exactly these moments. If your site has a process for suspicious emails, visitor verification, contractor sign-in, work order checks, or escalation, use it. A lot of security failures happen because people make exceptions under pressure. If the issue still seems suspicious, escalate it internally. That could mean notifying a supervisor, informing building management, contacting IT or cyber support, reporting the suspicious email, documenting the attempted scam, or alerting the wider team so others do not get caught. A suspicious message does not just affect one person. It can affect the whole site or organization. And even if nothing bad ultimately happens, it is still useful to document what was seen, what action was taken, and who was notified. That helps with pattern recognition, because what looks like a one-off event today may turn out to be part of a broader attempt tomorrow. The bigger message here is that a complete security professional is not just someone who can patrol a site, monitor cameras, or respond to a disturbance. A complete security professional understands risk more broadly. That includes physical risk, behavioral risk, procedural risk, information risk, and trust-based risk. Modern security is about awareness. It is about recognizing when something is not right, even when it does not look dramatic. A fake email can disrupt operations. A fake QR code can capture credentials. A fake contractor request can open the door to much bigger problems. A fake urgent message can bypass controls that exist for a reason. Cyber awareness is not some extra skill sitting off to the side. It is now part of frontline awareness. And the better security staff understand that, the stronger the whole operation becomes. So, to recap, physical security and cybersecurity now overlap. Frontline teams are often exposed to phishing emails, fake contractor requests, suspicious QR codes, impersonation attempts, and urgent messages designed to create pressure. Security staff are targeted because they work at the point where people, access, systems, and decisions meet. The key warning signs are unusual requests, bad links, change details, urgent pressure, and unknown senders pretending to be trusted contacts. And when something feels off, the response should be simple: stop, verify, follow process, escalate, and document it. Cyber awareness is now part of being a complete security professional. If you found this useful, subscribe to Stay Secure 360 for more practical lessons on security, safety, incident response, and frontline professionalism. And let me know in the comments, do you think most frontline teams still underestimate cyber risk?